Hey guys, sorry. It's been a little bit. I apologize. My name is Chad Tracy. I was terminated after 18 and a half years of service by two officers that lied and said I called them a pussy and a faggot 45 days apart approximately. And DOC pretty much co-signed it. I had issues with numerous officers. It was all documented. I had I asked for help with four different entities of DOC. One being with the majors, one being with the administrator, Snake in the Grass, Pretty Boy. No, not Pretty Boy. Definitely not Pretty Boy. That's not his name. But definitely Snake in the Grass, administrator, ladies man, Don Juan DeMarco. So yeah, you have the administrator, you have the majors, you had SID that I said I needed and asked for help, and two different incidents with two different EED investigators, and I got absolutely no help whatsoever, and none of them initiated anything. One of my lowest points in my life, and absolutely got no help from them or from DOC. You know, just goes to show you guys, there's other people that did ask for help. One person I know got it. The other two people or three people killed themselves, and they definitely needed help, and you know, it was never initiated. So, getting back, we're going to reiterate the last officer. He was the IVP at the time. I reached out to our president at the time and told him what was going on within our institution. That was on a Friday. That following Monday, when I was going to turn in the grievance, because our IVP would not, because he was so tight with the administration and also with the majors. And if anybody puts a grievance in, it draws attention from central office, and nobody likes that kind of attention. I did get in an argument with that officer that day, and he said I threatened him and called him a pussy and faggot on that day, on that following Monday, after I talked to our PBA president. I do have phone records to that phone. You know, if anybody wants to deny that our conversations happened or they didn't happen, I have everything. So with that being said, I reached out on Friday. That following Monday, that's when that officer, IVP, said I called him pussy and faggot and threatened to beat him up when I had three witnesses. And they couldn't see that it was all retaliation for me reaching out to his boss. That officer was pretty pissed off that I told his boss that he wasn't doing things that he was supposed to. Anything safety and security he was supposed to write up, which he did not. I had to write up, and I ended up turning in that grievance that day. And yeah, so I think I got transferred out of the building that day. And then they brought me right back. Long story short, because I talked to the PBA president about everything. And yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that. So we're getting on, now we're moving on to the second guy. Approximately 45 days later from the first incident, I allegedly threatened the second officer and called him a pussy and a faggot also. The funny thing about everything is that the first guy, Turtle Nuts, was our IVP of the institution at the time. He was the PBA representative for the second guy that said I said the same exact thing to him. Is that not a conflict of interest? It's all in the paperwork, DOC. I want you to look at it and I want you to know it. And I would appreciate it if you did it, because, you know, everything I'm saying to you is the truth. And this is, you know, a formal record, right? And why would I go on record and lie? And if I do lie, right, or if I misstate something, I will correct it my next video. I have no issues with that. But that individual said I said the same exact thing. I was up on a unit. Said I said the same exact thing. So it's crazy. So I ended up having a heart attack during the second incident. And a lot of things were said. I was rushed to the hospital, to Hamilton Hospital, and then I had to be rushed down to Cooper, where I was seen. They had to do their thing. Humpty Dumpty, Lieutenant Humpty Dumpty, had reached out. He was ordered to reach out by the one major. That was Major Coward. He was ordered, Humpty Dumpty was ordered by Major Coward to reach out because he didn't want to reach out. And probably talked to my wife at the time because she was the one that answered. You know, because they have to call up to see, you know, how someone's doing. I guess they thought I was bullshitting, but yeah, I went into surgery. They had to do what they had to do, and we're at where we're at today. But we're gonna get more into that, and yeah. So let's go. Let's get into this. So on that particular day, we were stationed up on Baker 1, myself and my partner. That was our daily jobs when they switch it from our 5:30 to 1:30. They switch it to Baker 1 escorts. That we stayed up on Baker 1, and you know, sit there for no apparent reason. And I did sit up there. My partner barely sat up there either, because we obviously didn't like the officers that were up there, and we kind of stayed away from, like, we tried to stay away from, you know, all the gossip. And you know, Mr. Victim was always into something, always getting in trouble, or he was always into gossip, you know, what have you. So we went up there. We had the administrator up there. He was talking to the inmates in the room, in the day room, and supposedly there was an active shooter alert that came through from a officer that allegedly threatened to shoot up the jail. I've talked to this officer numerous times. He never threatened to shoot up anything, but there was an active shooter. So they put like two people, I think 2 more rovers out, one at each at Wagner, one at each driveway, checking IDs, and another rover just going back and forth and backing up, you know, one of the other. Their jobs were out there to check IDs coming in and leaving, and checking vehicles coming in and checking vehicles going out. And that was near Ward Avenue. So that's what they were doing. He got instructed of what was going on. He had to leave, and that's when the one bald-headed white dude officer came walking up and said, "Oh my God, did you hear what happened? You hear what's happening?" And I said, "God," that's when I said, "You know what? Talk to my back, since you always talk behind my back anyways. just talk to my back. He's like, really? You're gonna be really on that? I'm like, I'm just kidding. Like, me and him had a, you know, we all joked. We all had that, you know, that joking thing with us. Like, we just joked and messed around all the time. It's just how it was. We curse a lot. You know, we have the Assistant Attorney General of representing or representing the Department of Corrections. And when I was on the stand, she didn't believe me that we use those kind of words in jail on a daily basis. And I instructed her that, unfortunately, you know, in her line of work, she wouldn't know that because she's never entered the jail and or experienced anything inside the jail. So how would she know how we talk inside the jail? So, you know, it's a typical Monday night quarterbacking from civilians that have no idea how the jail runs. So I don't even know why she's even part of the Attorney General's office representing DOC, because she has no idea of how the inside of the jail runs or a tier runs and how the inmates talk to you on a day-to-day basis. But, you know, I guess she's at the pay salary that she's at, and I'm at the pay salary I'm at, or was at. You know how that goes. So, standing on the tier, he comes, the one officer comes walking up and said, you know, I say what I say to him. He says what he says. You know, he knows I'm joking. And that's when Mr. Victim said, why don't you mind your own fucking business? You fucking pussy motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. And I just stood on the, I started facing him. We got into it a little bit. And I said, fuck you ain't gonna put your hands on me. All you gotta do is put your hands on me. And you know what's gonna happen. He's the one you put your hands on me. I'm like, I don't do that stuff. You put your hands on me first. You're the one that's talking tough and call me a pussy and, you know, this, that, and the third. And, you know, you're trying to antagonize you, but yet you won't put your hands on me. So, although I was wrong for saying it, I'll be the first one to admit it, because these guys, when they were put up on the stand, all they did was deny, right? But when I was put on the stand, I told the truth. And it's just how it is, man. I should have just said, oh, I don't recall. And that would have been acceptable to them. Meaning the judge that was ruling on it, and also the Assistant Attorney General. If you said that you don't recall, they accept it as an answer. Like, how is that? How come you do not refresh yourself? You know, refresh what you wrote or what you said before you went in there. And it's just crazy. So yeah, we're gonna stop there, guys, and that's it. We're gonna get into it, and we're gonna get into exactly what was said, when it was said, and everything that was said, including everybody that was involved, and how this guy is a victim even today. He still walks around and says, yo, if Officer Tracy comes back, I'm gonna go piss myself or shit myself as soon as I see him. Do you believe that shit, guys? Like, this is how this guy's plotting. And then there was a post on the first guy's on Turtle Nuts' Facebook, and if something was said that there's somebody on here that's you know, passing my information on or whatever, they reported me or something like that. And the first thing that Mr. Victim said was, oh, it's probably Chad. It's probably Chad Tracy. Like, why is my name still in his mouth? Does lonely old me scare this guy so bad? Or is it because he's lied on me and he's deathly afraid of me coming back into jail? And that's what it boils down to. Because he knows he's lied. And listen, anybody wants to verify it, please verify it. Because it's been said, and I got 2 or 3 people that said it to me already. That if he sees me and I go back into work, he's going to sue the state and say that he's scared to death of me, and he's going to shit and piss himself. But yet my name is the first one out of his mouth when something happens. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe he's in love with me. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. But tomorrow we are going live at 10 a.m. Please join. This video will be posted tonight. So some of you guys that are going to work tomorrow, you guys will be seeing it as you guys drive into work. So enjoy, be safe in there. And I appreciate all you guys that are commenting. I appreciate the word that's getting out. And like I said, if you had nothing to do with my termination, you have nothing to worry about. But if I know that you knew about my termination and you know it was going down, you're part of the problem. And you are the problem, and you continue to be the problem. I know of 2 officers that were unbitted for approximately 2 years at Garden State because they were part of the Good Old Boys Club. And it was because of the one major that's still there today. And he's the problem with the Good Old Boys Club. He needs to be removed, New Jersey DOC. He needs to retire, or he needs to get transferred. And he's one individual that always says, oh, my heart, I'm having a heart attack. My man, let me tell you something right now, Mr. Major. You have no idea what a heart attack feels like. You have no idea the pressure. You have no idea anything about heart attacks. So for you to even say that you have heart issues or heart problems or anything like that when it starts getting tough, just think what I went through for those 2 years that I finally had a heart attack at the expense of you guys also. That when I went over to Garden State, how I was treated by you, the 2 majors. Everybody else treated me excellent over there. I have no complaints with anybody else over there. Excellent people. 2 majors are pieces of shit. And I'll say it right to their face, and I said it right to his face. That guy is a piece of shit, and he needs to retire. Wouldn't get into all that also. So, that guy that has a heart attack, that's suggesting that he's having a heart attack every time it's getting hard. How about this? How about you breaking down and you asking for help from the majors, from the administrators, from SID, from EED, 2 people in EED, and nothing was done to help you. How about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Be safe. And yeah, we're getting into it. I've been waiting for this. Remember, guys, this is my therapy. And everything that I'm speaking on is on the record, and it's the truth. And the truth is going to prevail. What's said in the dark is going to come to the light. I'm telling you. And it has been. And these guys plotted against me. They plotted, and I'm going to prove it.